Oops. Didn't mean to go live then. Okay, what is up, Twitch and YouTube? We are here with day 6 of the 2020 Advent of Code. As usual, I've not looked at it, and I'm going to be aiming this at those of you who are very sort of new to coding. So I'm going to try and define some stuff, but I've defined a lot of the basic stuff like variables, loops over and over again. So feel free to watch my older highlights on Twitch or on YouTube for those. I'll still dip into them, and if there's any questions in the chat, I'll do the same. But let's rock and roll. So here's my REPL linked in the chat. It'll be in the YouTube description below. And here's Advent of Code. And we are on day 6, Custom Customs. As your flight approaches the regional airport, where you'll switch to a much larger plane, customs declaration forms are distributed to the passengers. The form asks a series of 26 yes or no questions, marked A through Z. All you need to do is identify the questions for which anyone in your group answers yes. Since your group is just you, this doesn't take very long. However, the person sitting next to you seems to be experiencing a language barrier and asks if you can help. For each of the people in their group, you write down the questions for which they answer yes, one per line. For example, A, B, C, X, A, B, C, Y, A, B, C, Z. I don't really know what that means. For each people in the group, write down the questions. Okay, cool. In this group, there are 6 questions to which anyone answered yes, A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Duplicate answers don't count as extra. This group has 6 questions. Yeah, okay. So I'm looking for which of these are true. Which of these they filled in anyway. Another group asks for your help, then another, and eventually you've collected answers from every group on the plane, your puzzle input. Each group's answers are separated by a blank line, and within each group, each person's answers are on a single line. Okay, cool. So we can use our sort of 2 escape characters to split the groups. First group contains 1 person who answered yes to 3 questions. The second group contains 3 people combined, they answer yes to 3 questions. The third group contains 2 people combined, they answer yes to 3 questions. Blah, blah, blah. And then in this example, the sum of all these counts. So we need to sum the counts. Yes, okay, so we need to see how many people answer yes to the questions each, basically. Okay. I think let's take this as our test case. So this is going to be our test input, and we're going to get, what are we going to get? So when that's read in, we'll end up with something like this: ABCX, comma, ABCY, comma, ABCZ. And we want to get the sort of unique characters in this list. So we could, what could we do here? I'm sure there's something. So we could use keys for an object. Those would be unique, so even if we overwrote them, that would be okay. We could also use like a list of 26 characters. So if we do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, dot split, that will give us a list of arrays, although that's not really going to be useful. I guess we could see if it's in the list, but that's not really useful to us. What else am I thinking? Oh, it doesn't work anyway. I need to do that. Fit nothing. But I could have like a list of 26 slots that refer to each of those letters in the alphabet, and use that to mark the questions in the list. Tricky one. I guess let's try and just break down the characters in this string. So that would be this dot split quotes, and that will give us a list containing each of those characters. Oh, empty separator is not allowed. Empty separator list split. Ah, interesting. So I can just straight up convert that string to a list, and it'll assume I want the empty. So that will do something like that, which is cool. Those are our characters, but we need to do something with that so that we can sort of loop over these. So I'm thinking converting the character to its sort of numerical equivalent. So A would be 0, B would be 1, C would be 2, and carrying on like that. So let's do convert string to ASCII. In fact, I wonder if I can just convert string to int in Python. That's probably not going to be happy there, but let's see. We could also use this string we've just made and find the position in that string, so that's quite useful. So we can call this like alphabet equals, and that will be, now we can access alphabet 0. I've just done it again. Literally just learned how to do this, wrap it in a list. So now if I access alphabet, that's our alphabet list. I can also do alphabet 0. I will get A. I can also find something in alphabet, so I think I can call alphabet.find A. Okay, guess I can't. Find in list Python. You'll notice I'm doing loads of Googling. That's pretty much how this works as a job as well. So I think I can use this index function. There we go. So alphabet A, sorry, index, yeah, that's going to work. So now what we can do is for char in list abcx, we can print char and alphabet dot index char. So there we go, we've got A, B, C, X. So next I'm going to make a list of yeses. Yes list maybe? Equals an empty list. I actually don't want an empty list. I'm going to make a list of zeros. Can I make that list? I'm assuming there's a zeros function, but that might be from something else. Hey, that's nice. So list of zeros equals, so I can do this as a multiplication, 26. And then what I can do is I can say for char in list, and then we're going to set the yes list index equals 1. So after that, if we print, in fact, let's print the yes, no, let's not print the yes list as we go. So we do that and we print the yes list. So there you go, you see we've got A, B, C, and then from the back Z, Y, X. So all we need to do is make sure as we go through this group, instead of, we just need to redefine this yes list in between each group, basically. So we can do for person in group, and our group will be this definition here, so group, then indent all of this, and that needs to be for, this needs to be list person instead. Yes list is not defined because I moved it. Where did I put that? So that needs to be in here, so for each person we need to make a new yes, no we don't. For each group we need to make a new, for each group we need to make a new guest list, yes list. Yes list equals 0 times 26. And then if I print the yes list, you should see, so we've written over A, B, C, and Z, Y, X. So then finally we can print the sum of yes lists for each character. Shoot, that's not going to work. So we need to do group total equals 0. Then at the end of each one, Sum list. Right, we've got a lot of different pieces here that we need to sort of tie together. But we've got 6 for our first one, which is what we should get for this. Next, we need to look at our individual groups. So I'm going to take this test case, do our usual, write that in there. Then we're going to do read Python file line by line. We want to split it on the news, right? How did we do this the other day? I might check. We definitely did this one of the other days, didn't we? So let's open a few of them, see which one it was. MainPy, there we go. Didn't make any changes. Scary. Okay. So now we can read our inputs in. So data equals that. For now, let's say group is equal to data 0. Everything should still work. There's no new lines because there's only one. Shoot. What's that about? New line is not in the list. It looks like it's in the list to me. Print char, alphabet index char. I'm not stripping out the, I'm splitting out the new lines, but I'm not getting rid of the new lines. Because we have to split the group again, don't we? So each time we get into each group, for group in data, split group equals date group dot split, and then we need to split on our escape character, and then the group total needs to be out here, but we need to increment that group total, and we're going to make the new yes list. We get 0, that's not good. That's because I'm defining it in there. Yeah, because I need to do group total for char in whatever, for person in group. So after that for loop, I need to do group total equals sum yes list, and I need to print group total. That's not good. 0 group total equals group total plus sum yes list. Still not good. Okay. So let's print data. Let's simplify it back down to this. There shouldn't be any, because it's not in the list. Does that mean I can stop printing this because we know that's working? Oh, I didn't indent this. Oh dear. So data, then we do so then what's split group do? Looks good to me. So what's you complain about line 14? There shouldn't be one there. Okay, let's make it easy for ourselves. Let's do some friendly print stuff. Group, person in group, and for char in person. So we've got group, ABC, ABCY, and person. That doesn't look right. Because I'm using group, that's why I should be using split group. Cool, and we get 15, which is not correct. Should be 6. I'm probably incrementing this in the wrong place. So for person in split group, that needs to be unindented 1. There we go, we got 6. Okay, let's comment those out for now. Let's try this small test case and see what we get. Run it, we get 11, and the answer we should get is 11, so that looks good to me. Confident enough to give it a try now. Nope. Copy it. Confident enough to give it a try now. 6,662. Oh my god. Could it be possible? We've done it. We've got 1 gold star. We've done it in like 14 minutes. I've cut a lot of corners because obviously I've not explained anything this time, but that's pretty good. So let's continue on to part 2. Thank you, everyone. I almost left that up by mistake. Where did it go? Did I not get it? Did I get it wrong? Part 2, okay. As you finish the last group's customs declarations, you notice that you misread 1 word in the instructions. You don't need to identify the questions in which anyone answered yes, you need to identify the questions to which everyone answered yes. Okay. So, for our test case here, that would only be A, B, C. So let's get started with that. So got this, got our 6, and let's just split this out. So def group. Let's just call it part 1. Part 1. Part 1 data, and let's just loop that all in there. So instead, we're looking for the ones, so instead of just setting them to all be 1, what we kind of want to do is our yes list, we need to check which elements in that yes list are equal to the size of our group. So that doesn't sound too bad to me. I'm gonna do def part 2, tweak some bits in here. We'll probably find there's loads of overlap. Need to make sure we call part 2 with our data as well. Part 2 data. So I'm pretty happy here because I feel like we're like 2 lines away from doing this already. So instead of 1, I'm going to increment that yes list plus 1. So now we should get part 1 data. What are you complaining about? No colons. Bad Joe. Cool, 12. So that's counting up all 4, which is good. Let's print out our yes list. Let's just do it here actually. Yes, yes, yes list. No, let's print out our yes list here. Print yes list. So you can see now we've got 3, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, and we only want to include these 3s. Do we want to sum them then? And that's for this example. So yeah, we want to sum each one in that first case. It's 3. So yeah, we want to do, hang on. Okay, so basically if this isn't equal to the length of a list, we can get rid of it. So this is where we sort of process our yes list. So what we want to do is we can write a filter. So if I, this yes list, no, it's not available there. Okay, let's store this in a list so I can try and demonstrate this. X equals, that doesn't look like it copied right, but it did. Okay, so we can use a lambda function, which we've not looked at before. I'm writing JavaScript. X, how do I do lambda x comma x times 2? Ooh. Clearly don't know how to do this. Okay, filter lambda. Is it just a filter function on its own? I'm letting my JavaScript show here by mistake. So I think it's just a filter, not an x.filter. And then I think we say, where is it? Function sequence? Is that for the list? So something like this. I shouldn't have called my list x as well. Map lambda x. It's kind of like what I did. Filter takes a function and a list. So we should be able to do, although it might be because I used x there. So that should be, let's call it y, and let's go back and let's edit this one. Why does it do that? Okay, this is getting annoying. Let's not worry about that. Let's just make our own. Y equals 4, 1, 1, 0. And then let's use our filter. So that will returns an object which we need to print out. Should be a list. No? Need to store it as a result. Print the result. No, what's that doing? Print result. We're doing something old or obvious here. Python 3 filter lambda. Same. I need to convert it to a list in Python 3 apparently. That's annoying. Okay, so filter, we want where x is equal to the length of y. List the result, which is 4. And as we remember, our list was 4, so that's pretty much what we want to do. So I'm going to copy that. And what do I need to do here? Reduce the list basically, so I'm going to say filtered yeses, and that's going to be the length of our yes list, and we're going to pass it the yes list. So now we should print this, sum this. Oh dear. So these both need to be filtered yes, and we get a 0. Doesn't need to print that, it needs to print the list version of that. And I guess we also need to do the list version here. In fact, let's save ourselves some work by doing it straight here. Don't know if that's right. That seems odd. ABCZ should be 4. So it definitely shouldn't be empty. Let's see what we got. Yes list. It's not the length of the 3's, it's the number of people in the group, which is for group in data. So it's length split group. There we go. So now we got our 3's, and then we don't sum the list, we sum the length of the list. No! Int object is not iterable. Sum. You complaining about there? Line 39. Filtered yeses. We don't need the sum function because it returns a number. Groovy. So let's try that with our test case again. So this should be 6. Cool, that's a 6. Let's try it with our test input. 3382. That is the right answer. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. I can't believe we've done it. That was 24 minutes. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe it. I just turned the heating off because we're on fire today. We're doing great. Oh my gosh. Okay, so considering we have so much extra time, what I'm going to do is, I cut a lot of corners there, so I'm going to try and simplify some stuff. So there's loads of stuff that repeats between part 1 and part 2 that we can sort of reduce out. We don't need all these print statements anymore. So let's tidy up in case anybody sees this.